course, Rise Nation walks away with that one, and Estral, of course, taking down NRG in map number 1. Like we said, if you're just joining us, this should be a fun one to watch. Map number 2 exhibit about to be right in our faces as NRG looking to try to reclaim control. But Ryan, imagine if Estral, and I know I'm getting way too ahead of myself here, but imagine if Estral could walk away with this map, what that would mean for this team to take NRG out in round number 1 and on arguably one of their best maps. I know I'm getting way too ahead of myself, but a man can dream for the storyline's sake.
I think the most impressive thing to me would just be beating them on exhibit.
Yeah.
So they've been so strong on this map. And, you know, obviously what has been one of the things that has plagued NRG in this game has been their map pool. I mean, it's been no secret. They believe they lost the last event because they just didn't have a wide enough map pool. So if you can take this map on them, of any map in the video game, that would be absolutely huge. And you know what? They're off to a pretty good start as they get a quick 5 wipe, a quick trip cap, and find themselves up 1-0. I mean, we know this Estral team is a momentum team.
Oh, yeah,
we saw them at the event. One thing that I was so impressed with is that they were getting up almost after every round, no matter who they played, and just going ballistic, screaming, let's goes, hugging it out. And a lot of teams sometimes will get overhyped and run out of steam, lose stamina, lose energy, but it didn't matter. The second they walked into the building, the second they walked out, they were screaming against whoever they played. So obviously a very big momentum team.
Yeah.
So again, that's a good way to start this map, if any.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of people have talked about how Estral, such an aggressive team, and obviously that's not too uncharacteristic when it comes down to LATAM rosters. But in terms of that map conversation with NRG, the lack of their map pool, what do you kind of accredit that problem to, right? Is it just maybe a matter of just not understanding the way that maps work? Is it the ability of maybe not practicing enough? I mean, what do you think is the core problem of NRG's, at least past, of not having that deep of a map pool?
Yeah, I mean, I think in this game, to me, the only thing I can think of, I don't scrim them on a daily basis anymore and that kind of stuff. It's just what it looks like is they're not comfortable in their spots because, again, they have the best in-game leader in the video game. So again, like it's not like Explosive doesn't know what he's doing on the maps. So to me, it comes down to kind of obviously the spots they're playing. I think they've changed Solars off of a couple front spawns. I think they have, for example, I think Summons might play this front spawn on Asylum. And if Ash in the chat, I'm wrong, you can roast me. But like, I think just like sometimes it seems like the spots that players are getting beat up in areas that we don't normally see. And speaking of which, you see Crack just putting Solars in a coffin, and Estral's not stopping chunk after chunk. Can the boys' NRG do it? Mental gets 1. Mental about to get 2, but he gets hit by a big knife. I don't think this player off spawn gets there in time. That would be a trip cap. Estral goes up 2-0. Obviously, we know NRG can come back at any point in time. No scoreline ever mattered. But those rounds have been quick.
They have been.
They have been very quick, and that's not a good sign if you're anyone.
They have 2 players that have yet to drop a combined 18-0. For Crack and Cardia. Shout out to Observer there. I mean, literally, just phenomenal. And to be incredibly obvious, they just don't look like they're missing. Like in every single one of those sequences, you're looking on them to win a 1v1, and they are winning those. Estral, very scary start off the rip as they are up 2-0. But as you called it, Ryan, 2-0s have happened many times throughout Gears of War history, especially so far throughout Gears of War 5. This, for me, will be the biggest, possibly of the entire game, to go up that 3-0 off the break. Can they do it? Crack, more motivated than ever. Wants to win this 1v1 versus Summons. In fact, it's not going to be a 1v1. It's a party. 2 versus 1. Crack, however, unfortunately goes and gets the misroll. Adverse will be there for the pickup. And if you are Estral, you're winning what seems to be the initial again. However, they do lose that mid control. Here comes the flash. Mental just right around the corner. Cardia bricks his way through. Unfortunately, Praise drops, but Cardia gets a nice dab onto 1. Praise walks away with a double. NRG, they can breathe for a moment.
And one reason I think they're so strong on this map is I think Praise individually has such a good sort of level of spacing and awareness on this middle side of the map. It seems like, obviously, he's been great at kind of spacing, right weapon, right time, keeping distance with the shotgun. That's been his thing forever. But the way he kind of navigates this middle portion of the map, around that piece of middle cover, has always been what, to me, separates this team. Of course, that along with how Explosive can be so active in that middle alongside him. But again, you look at that initial, right? You saw just how aggressive Estral was. Crack If he didn't misroll there, so that's a very unfortunate misroll. If they don't misroll, they absolutely outplayed Summons in the beginning of that. Crack runs right up, pushes him back, and then Adverse comes right through, and there was nowhere in sight. Again, if he doesn't misroll there, they absolutely clean up that 2v1, and they start off with numbers. So you just see how quick they're playing, how aggressive they're playing, and how confident they're playing with each other.
We'll see if they can keep that up. NRG, a team that can start to learn your strategies over time. Crack, he'll be dropped here off the break. Reflame just right around the corner. NRG, they want their number advantage. It looks as if they will be earning that to fall as a nice pinch is inbound from NRG. Extra ammo, and Praise is going to need it because he's been firing so many shots. Many of the pellets inside of Estral's bodies as they will unfortunately drop their first round here of the first half. Of course, if you are a LATAM fan, the worst thing that you can see is signs of life from NRG. And this is a huge one, Ryan. Coming into the last round of the first half, I feel like in terms of momentum, you almost want to give it to NRG just based off of their history, just based off of their cadence, their history. But even still yet, this is a massive swing round already off the start from the boys of Estral, just to make sure that momentum, as you called it earlier, is still alive.
Yeah, and this initial to me is going to mean so much. We'll see. Crack, once again, obviously got so aggressive last chance. He did a little bit of the same thing. Again, he put himself in a great position. Looks like you see the adjustment, though. Yeah, NRG made a little bit of an adjustment there. Obviously, one thing this team does so well.
Explosive does rotate back toward middle.
Yeah, and one thing I said, he's just so active on the map in general. He's active on every map, but this one in particular, the way you can kind of jump around lane to lane, just makes him so effective. Crack's going to get aggressive. He's going to push Summons. Unfortunately, he has to kind of back off because his teammates are following the entire kill feed, lighting up red in favor of NRG. Crack running back to spawn, trying to save his life because the push is going to come. When this team gives an inch, gets an inch, I'm sorry, they take a mile. Start off with numbers. They continue to push them forward. We're going to have 3 members towards the hill, 1 off spawn. It's going to be a big defensive stop coming in from Estral because the members of NRG are already on the home hill, and they're starting to slay out. They're usually going to be dropped. Crack, the last remaining member on the map. Can't even make it there in time. Gets the flash in. Can he get the touch? Mental is there for the kill. Estral start off with 2 very quick rounds, 2 aggressive rounds, but NRG has definitely stopped the bleeding now at this point.
What do you feel like the major adjustments have been from NRG? Is it just learning the strategy from Estral? Obviously, you talked about it in round number 3. It was really the misroll that kind of gave away the entire beginning portion of the play. But has there been any exact change-ups that NRG has made that you think has allowed for them to walk away with the last 2?
I just think the rounds that Estral's been winning is they've been getting just definitive wipes. And so I think, to me, NRG, again, this match in particular, will always be better during drawn-out rounds where you can truly kind of let your teamwork, rotations, all that kind of stuff come to life, right? Because obviously that's what this team has been known for forever. Yeah. So to me, you see, like if you look at the slaying, for example, even through right now, there's a lot more eliminations coming through on the NRG side, right? And the rounds have been a little longer, but not by much, right? So to me, like I said, Estral is very good at getting numbers, quickly getting that wipe, and then hitting your hill. So I think if NRG, the longer drawn-out rounds will always sort of favor them, and the last 2, while they've been still fairly short in the grand scheme of things, have favored them because of that.
We'll see if NRG can keep up the same level of play, considering they are down 0-1 to Estral Esports. Looks like Mental ready with the utility. Right alongside Praise. They've got Division locked up. Here comes the initial flash. Of course, it's Estral to toss it out first, but NRG is instantly there for the reply. Mental ready for the push, ready to be inbound, as unfortunately Insens other ways, and Mental unfortunately will be caught up in the flames himself. Decides to wrap back, and I think he was under the impression that he could make it through. And now from one tunnel fight to the next, Adverse tosses out a flash and instantly makes the rotation, and for good reason. Estral up close, they're looking solid as Crack will drop explosive. Praise caught out now. And this should be Estral's hill to hold. Mental not going to be able to contest with too many shots. And it will be Estral who manages to grab the E hill and will take the advantage from now until further on.
I want to stay on board with Praise here because, again, I love how he plays this map. See how his approach is now when he has to go for kind of that retake, right? He's so good at kind of mitigating that fight while it's underway, but he's just getting pushed by an entire mob of Estral players. He's forced to bounce back. He does have a little bit of help, obviously, in the form of Mental. Explosive is there as well. I believe Explosive has an Incend.
He does.
Looks like he's not able to connect. As that inside can be just an automatic catalyst so many times. Get in there, and Grayson's getting that first down. They're going for the revive. It looks like they will get it. But now if you're NRG, or at least have them out of position, it looks like they're beginning to capitalize. Mental's going to pick up a big double. Gray's going to follow up that kill on Cardia. Summons as well. It's a quick 4 down. It's a great job by NRG, just waiting to find that one advantage. Getting it and then capitalizing. I think they know, too, where Fiercely is. He needs to get that break. He needs to at least hold on as long as he can to give his team enough time. Once they're at full strength. A couple members of NRG are kind of, worrying about Fiercely, so at the very least, it was a good play by him. Kind of took a page out of the summons book there, if anything. And now it's to his team, right? You have a player who put you in a position to win by himself, put you in a position to at least stay in this round. They still have that lead. Now what's their next move? And so far, it looks like NRG is still continuing to light up the kill feed.
That's a huge pick for NRG to find. It looks as if Mental comes through, takes down Crack. Cardia trying to keep this one alive. And can he jump inside the hill? No, they decide not to. The emoting at the end, slightly out of frustration. Regardless, NRG, that is their 3rd round in a row. And as you've called it, Ryan, it really is, no pun intended, that mental fortitude. They're kind of aware of what Estral's call is when it comes down to exhibit. And it's somewhat kind of understandable even from layman's terms. Estral, they look great off the start. You try to run at their pace, you're not going to be able to do it. NRG waiting, taking their opportunities, and allowing for Estral to pay. And there was a moment there, Ryan, where it was 170 to 117. NRG, not a care in the world. They make the smart play. They grab the advantage. They find the pick. They instantly swarm into that E-Hill. And they make it work. Impressive stuff, to say the least, from NRG. And we'll see if they can keep up that same slow, methodical play. We'll see, really, if Estriol can finally get around here on the board soon, as Reflame unfortunately takes down Cardia. That's going to slow their boat. Mental runs on through, no problem. The instant tossed out, it doesn't even affect the man. 2 versus 2, NRG, they're forcing the issue, but unfortunately, Mental, he'll be taken down. Teammates starting to back up, and is this a strategy that NRG can continue to implement as praised? As you talked about it, the spacing, the dominance up close. He'll instantly pick up the pace yet again from NRG.
Just throwing cinder blocks at people on the middle end of this map. NRG's now seem to kind of pick up their footing, seem to be kind of cruising through this exhibit map, as they honestly normally do. Estral, they got to figure out what their adjustment's going to be. It seems like every time NRG gets an advantage, mid-round, early round, they do take off with it. Adverse does get 1 kill on Explosive, and there's a player on this team to kill. It's probably him. Cardi looking to make the flank. Crack doing a good job staying alive, but not for long. Cardi got there just a little bit too late. Not able to finish out that 1v1, but that will give them the E-Hill, or at least the beginnings of the E-Hill. Inside's going to come through from NRG to kind of keep them off for now. And Cardi, you saw him try to vault over the piece of cover and wasn't able to get over. NRG instantly makes him pay for that, and Estral isn't even able to get on the E-Hill just yet. So the advantage is starting to once again kind of waver in favor of the COG team. A couple whiff shots, couple miss rolls. You just see the lighting up everyone. There's just 4 members of NRG there. I don't see anyone outside of Adverse and Reflame on Estral.
Estral, as the round continues to progress, have really started to look weaker and weaker. NRG picking up on their faults. That's going to be 3 down for the moment, as Mental pretty much just body rolled through the opposition's skull. Adverse has to reference back. He can't stay alive for much longer, and this will be NRG's round, as that is 4 rounds in a row. And now their opportunity to be on map point. A total shift, Ryan, really from the first 2, that 3rd round, the swing round we discussed, where Estral, they just need to keep that momentum flowing. They cannot get it going, and they really haven't had really much of a success ever since then.
Yeah, no, like I said, they got those first 2 rounds, and they were very quick, too, right? They came off, obviously, long spawn rounds, very, very quick early wipes, and a trip cap, and then, obviously, as the spawns got longer, NRG, of course, gets their footing. Now they're kind of just off to the races. You look at the slaying, I mean, just multiple members in the 20s. Yeah. So a lot of members on Estral without even breaking double digits. So, again, we knew this team is the best exhibit team. Obviously, we knew that just so many times they're going to always have an opportunity to be in a series because they can just beat literally everyone on this map, and trying to see why.
See exactly what Estral can do in terms of their opportunity that still sits ahead. They need to be perfect from this point on if they want to walk away with the hot 2-0. Solar's just gauging information. A few of his teammates hopping inside of the hill just below. It looks like they will be successful in that endeavor. Fiercely up top, not able to do much damage up to this point. But if you're NRG, you're now starting to play Estral's game of getting aggressive early. And Estral maybe even starting to lose a little bit of their confidence. Here comes Adverse Reflame, 3 versus 2. Let's see if they can make it work. NRG, they'll manage to escape out. Adverse not going to receive the same fate, and neither can Praised. 2 versus 1 flashes there, and you're somewhat curious right now if you're Estral. Do you force the issue? Do you try to go for the rush, or you pretty much just try to distance NRG back enough to where you can have control of E? Looks like they decide to play more of the methodical game and manage to get the break on E. Successful work from Estral as they'll drop summons in the meantime.
Yeah, you see Estral's trying to kind of inch up. They got 1 kill. They have the opening. That's going to be now a big opportunity. They have 2 players off the map. They have the 2 cap. 1 player they already know is up top. Unfortunately, the mental is going to take out Cardia. It's going to definitely delay any potential push, but at least for Estral, you're starting to build a lead. Explosive and mental just being a nuisance over on the Estral home hill. I don't know if Adverse knows there should be a player potentially behind him. I think actually no, mental went to go get his teammate instead. Cardia killed Crack, so just when it looked like Estral was in position to start to take a lead, NRG just starts maneuvering the rest of the map. They're up top, go through the home hills, and now just like that landed NRG, they find themselves on board for a trip cap. Only 2 members remain on Estral. This map could almost just be over.
Instantly turned on its head. Reflame chasing after Explosive. Does not tag him up enough to go for the drop. Getting aggressive. You see just the frustration possibly. He accidentally hugs the wall. Maybe misrolls out of there and gets dropped for it. Estral just sloppy play in terms of the top side. Adverse just trying to pick up the pace toward the bottom and stop the breathing that currently is in play as Fiercely takes down Adverse. The unfortunate crossfire as they have to take down Solars, keeping in mind that a player actually from NRG has made it inside and continuous team kills. Adverse on 0, Crack, Cardia all on 0. 5 more seconds. Can anybody hop inside of all the hills? And it looks as if no, that will not be the case. NRG, a perfect 5 in a row as they will walk away with Exhibit and even up this series 1-1, Ryan.
And you got to wonder what happens in that round if those back-to-back team kills don't.